Alright, both these players obviously very good StarCraft players.
It's like this little balance.
Once again, the map will be Fighting Spirit, old school Brood War map. To the bottom left there you guys see the original design for the map in StarCraft Brood War, and the center is the remake, very well remade by Product. And we're just loading up the map. We're going to go ahead and get this game underway. Now, I think the Zerg player is going to want to spawn as far away as possible from the opponent. The more distance you have, I think in general the Zerg is going to be able to macro up more. And of course, a lot of the harassment Zerg comes from mutas. And mutas are so fast and mobile that they can cover a lot of ground very easily. So I think that the Zerg player, Kangwook here, is going to prefer to spawn as far as possible away from the enemy Terran. And we'll see what the player's spawn position is as the loading goes. Very slow computer here. So, all right, here we are. So we have Kangwook, our finalist here, spawning at the top left-hand corner as the Blue Zerg player. He is going to be here on Fighting Spirit Blue Zerg at the 11 o'clock, and his opponent, Pikachu, coming here by default, but also a very scary Terran player. I can attest to that. He is spawning here as the top right Terran, dark green Terran, and it looks like they're going to spawn pretty much not the furthest possible positions, but you know, this map is so big compared to a lot of the maps that Blizzard has made that I think any Zerg player would love to play on this map, and I think that's why Kangwook even selected this map a couple times before in the semifinals and the round of 8. So I think Kangwook's optional or optimal strategy here, open up with 15 hatch. I've seen him do that quite often, and 15 hatch is the most economic build. It's the most daring build that Zerg can do, but it really sets you ahead. And on a map like this, it can be fairly easy to expand with fairly easy to cover your expansion if you decide to go for that 15 hatchery. He's going to be sending out a drone just to scout out the enemy Terran. Pikachu will be walling off. And of course, it's very standard as a Terran player. Always try to buckle down your front door. Don't want to let Zerglings flooding in because that can put a really bad scar on your day. He's going to be throwing up that barracks. Standard opening here for both players. Don't see anything coming out for Kangwook yet, and he is going to be going for that 15 hatch. You guys can see his minerals are starting to collect. As soon as he has 200, he'll move his drone out and plop down that hatchery, presumably, and there we go, just a tad late. And he'll be getting that hatchery down. 13 gas on the way for Pikachu. Game is underway. Cannot wait to see what happens here. Now, I've watched a couple of games of Kangwook already, and he is such a creative player. Even when a player brings the hurt to him, like for example when Dopa brought the 2-pylon photon cannon wall, he just said, screw it, I'm going to stay on one base. He went for Nidus worms, he went for drops, he did everything in the book. And I really like that kind of Zerg play. Instead of playing standard, playing predictably, he really can play creatively. He can do a lot of things that you don't expect, and that can definitely catch you off guard. So obviously very high skilled. And Pikachu, also a very good player. Can't say it enough. Both these players in the finals. He's going to be getting his SCV in here. Finally finding where the Zerg is. Zerg getting up a standard pool after the hatch and has the gas running already. I'd expect to see a fast speed on this spawning pool because speedling is so essential in Zerg versus Terran in the beginning. I don't think he's going to skip straight to layer. He'll probably get speed and then the next 100 gas will go right towards layer. The reactor is going down on the first barracks. Now, a lot of different openings Pikachu can do. He might decide to get a factory right after this and then swap it with the reactor, pump out a couple of Hellions and go harass. We'll see what he decides to do. The reactor is almost finishing here, and as soon as it's done, we should see, is he going to throw down? He is going to be throwing down a command center. So we're going to be seeing some 1-Rax FE play here, probably going to see mostly a bio build coming from the Terran player, which also is extremely powerful, not only against Protoss, but against Zerg as well. Kangwook will have to be careful about that. Optimally against bio, I think Ling, Baneling, Infestor is the way to go. Pikachu though, Kangwook will need 2 expansions though to fund that gas in order to hold off a mass bio build. He's got 1 spine crawler on the way. Speed also on the way, as you guys can see on that production tab. And he's pulled drones off the gas, so he's not going to go for a fast layer at the moment. He's going to go for as many drones as he possibly can. You guys can see that he's obviously trying to, he's a little supply blocked right now, but very soon he'll be pumping out as much drones as he can possibly muster to get his economy rolling. Pikachu, command center, almost done, but we can see with that wall off, these Zerglings are not going to be able to bust in. One feature missing on this map in comparison to all the other maps is there is no Zelnaga watchtower. So there's no central location where you can fight to gain control of that huge radius of sight and vision. But, you know, that's just one of the features that some players prefer, some players don't. We'll see how this game unfolds. Speed almost done. As soon as that speed finishes, these speed moves will be so fast. Marines pushing out, a couple of Marines. This barracks with reactor really acts as a double barracks. It's just so fast. We can see that the Terran player still hasn't thrown down any other buildings. He's just getting some bunkers to secure his front door, so he really wants to rack up that natural. And yeah, there we go. He's going to be throwing down a couple more barracks, so we will be seeing Bio play this game. This is a very standard build against Protoss. It works very well against Zerg as well. We'll see what Kangwook does to defend against it. His lair is now on the way. All the drones mining the gas at the main. No drones on the gas at the natural yet, but they are morphing into extractors. I'm not sure if he's going to choose to go for Mutalisk. I don't think Mutalisk is optimal against the mass Marines, but here we go. Zerg is running. Deep raise right there. Good control and awareness by Pikachu. And now, notice he's trapped the Zerglings into his natural expansion. They can't even run away because the Marines closed it off. I love that play. I don't even know if that was on purpose. Maybe Pikachu kind of allowed the Zerglings to run in and then close it off. But very close. But the Zerg player a little bit behind now, tossing away all those lings. He needs to produce more, and that's going to hurt his drone production. We can see 4 on the way. Why does he need to produce more? He needs to be able to control the map. Doesn't want to give it up to the Terran now, because the Terran knows that he has the larger army at this point. 2 tech labs, factory, another barracks coming down as well. We'll see maybe some biomech play, but I really do think this factory is going to be just used to get the quick starport out, and then we're going to see some dropships coming out to heal and fortify the bio build. For the Zerg Kangwook, he still does he know that it's a mass bio build? Yes, he does see the double barracks. So good overlord placement here. He moved it in just a little bit, lost a little bit of health, but he was able to see these barracks, and that's something that Zerg players always need to be aware of. They need to use their overlord to scout, and now what's going to come? It is going to be a Spire. So Kangwook will try to go for Mutas, and he, of course, has a great economy right now. He's never been harassed this entire game, hasn't lost a single drone. If you guys look on the income, 45/37. That's the hallmark of a Zerg player who's been allowed to macro and hasn't been harassed the entire game. And he is getting Banelings to deal with the Marines. So he's not going to be going for a pure Baneling infestor build. Rather, he's going to get Mutas and Banelings. And this is pretty good against the Terran if you go mass Marauder, which it does look like it is going to be a ton of Marauders coming out. The only thing that Kang has to be careful about is the Marines here. That's quite a few Marines. And is there missile turrets on the way? Engineering bay is almost up. Did the Terran player scan? No, he did not. But he's just assuming because Mutalisk, you know, they're the standard level of play now in ZBT, and you always have to get missile turrets up just in case. That's how dangerous Mutalisks are. So mobile and so effective. Terran player now pushing out a couple of tanks, so he's not going to be going for that fast dropship. He's going to be playing some biomech. He is also getting a turret up. This location right here, extremely vulnerable to Mutalisk. The Mutalisk can hit from the high ground. A turret is essential, but there needs to be something to spot the Mutalisk if they stay on this ledge, because the turret, I don't think will be able to scout. No, it will not be able to see the Mutalisk, and the Mutalisk will be able to get some shots off. Oh, the turret is going to get a couple, one Mutalisk kill, but now the entire mineral line is exposed to these Mutalisks. Kangwook doing a lot of damage. He has Banelings, the centrifugal hooks on the way. It doesn't look like he'll be able to pick off any more SCVs, but this is the thing that those Mutas just play a huge psychological threat to the Terran. He can't push out. He has to waste minerals on turrets. He has to pump more Marines rather than getting what he would really prefer, you know, tanks, Marauders, a diversified army. Because if you go too heavy on Marines, and Banelings are going to roll right through that bio army. Now the Mutalisk coming right back into the main, picking off the SCVs before the turrets go up. Great play right here from Kangwook. He's going straight into the mineral line. He's affecting a lot of damage on these SCVs. And already, this is putting Pikachu in a bad position to start off this finals here at UC Berkeley. Is he going to be able to fend off? He has to throw out more turrets. Very Marine-heavy army right now. And let's take a look at the food. 95 for our Terran player, 108 for the Zerg. So the Zerg considerably ahead. Also has now morphed out that third expansion all the way to the bottom left. That is so far away because this map is so huge. I didn't even catch a glimpse until now. But that hatchery is up and running very, very far away. So one lone Marine here, the Lone Ranger is going after the Overlords, but Pikachu really needs to use that Marine to scout, not to be killing off a couple Overlords here and there, but looks like the drones will reveal themselves, and maybe they'll even kill off the Marine as well. No, nothing happened here. Meanwhile, Mutalisk coming into the natural expansion, and Pikachu with the Thor, so powerful against the Mutalisk. Mutalisk needs to box away. Mutalisk are just getting torn apart. taking a bad air route there through the Terran base, and he encountered some pretty heavy anti-air defense. So losing a lot of his Mutalisks, not the best, but his economy is just thriving right now. 3 expansions, 53 over 36 Harvesters. He's got Banelings on the way, and he should have some more Mutalisks as well. Does he know he doesn't have any more Mutalisks being produced? But really, just look at the placement of Overlords and units all over the map. He has pretty much full vision of dropships that might ever pop out of the Terran main. And now he's going to come in with Mutas again. This ledge is so hard to defend if you're a Terran player against Mutas. Look at how many Harvesters are getting picked apart. The Thor landing a couple of his hammer missiles on the Mutas, doing some pretty good damage there. But Kangwook remains alive. We do have Infestation Pit on the way. This is very deadly. Those infestors against a mass marine bio army, extremely powerful. Mind control also an option as well, but not used too often these days, as that Muta magic box is just so good against Thors. Looks like we are going to see a push from Pikachu. He's at 111 supply. The Zerg at 119, just a little bit over. But he's morphing Banelings in the open right now. He's going to lose a lot of these Banelings. That is huge. He might not have enough Banelings to break this bio ball, and a lot of them getting picked as they try to run away. Kangwook now trying to buy time. He needs to buy time to get more forces out. We can see 26 Zerglings on the production tab just now morphing out. Pikachu needs to push. He has a window of opportunity, but be careful, Pikachu, because there's 2 different avenues that he gets surrounded at right now. We can see the forces waiting in the south to trap. There's spine crawlers here to hold off because the tanks will need to siege it out. Now the getting obliterated by the Banelings. The Mutas also flying overhead, getting some lag. The Thor just demolishing the Mutas. Pikachu looking strong here. He just got himself a chance to get back in this game, but he needs to take out an Expo. He's so far behind in economy. Right now, the Zerg has no army to speak of whatsoever, so Pikachu needs to strike an expansion. He's looking. Does he know? He should have seen the drone, so I think he knows there's an Expo down here, but maybe too far away to go and attack. He's forced to hold his ground, but these Banelings are coming out. Everything getting annihilated. Pikachu only with 2 Thors left. Not looking good. 66 Harvesters over 35. 8 p.m. for the Zerg player. A staggering 212 average 8 p.m. Now the spine crawlers coming out to burrow, or maybe not. Maybe they just... Thor's going to land a couple of those shots on the spine crawlers. Those Thors do so much damage. This is just really mind-blowing. But we have Kangwook. The thing is, he can bring reinforcements all the way from the south there, and he can really surround this small ragtag force of the Terran army very easily. I don't think Kangwook's in trouble, but you never know. The Terrans are very strong. Here comes the Banelings going to roll in. No, they're not going to take out the Thor. The Thor is just too strong. I don't know if going Banelings is a wise idea. I think if he had just kept them as Zerglings, would have been much better. And now Kangwook could be in trouble. He has such a stronger economy, but he doesn't have the army to break this. And with reinforcements coming from the Terran, is Pikachu going to take this game? Is Pikachu going to take this game? This would be a miracle. Kangwook is constantly throwing forces in. He needs to build up a large enough army and then surround, but he's quickly running out of time to do that. And with Mutas popping out, they're just going to get blown away by the Thor. Pikachu, I cannot believe it, ladies and gentlemen. He might just take this game against all odds. We have a 4th Expo going up. Does it matter? The natural has been absolutely ransacked. Now a follow rope landing. The Zerg player trying to fight for survival, but this ball of Terran continues to go bigger and bigger because nothing is dying. It's just getting stronger and stronger. The Zerg player in a lot of trouble, desperately throwing up spine crawlers now. This, if you're a Zerg player, you never want to see this on your ramp. This is a very